Have you ever heard a King James Onlyist say that the modern translations of the Bible are perverted and they're corrupted and that they shouldn't be used? And that only the King James version of the Bible is the true Bible? Well, I got a question for my King James Onlyist friends. Hey, it's Ricky Gantz here with G220 Ministries. Have you subscribed to the channel yet? Why not? What are you waiting for? Anyways, this is my question for King James Onlyists. Now, I've heard the arguments many times in the past that the modern translations are a perversion or a compromise. They're corrupted compared to the King James Bible. Now, listen. This is not a knock or an attack on the King James Bible. I love the translation of the King James Bible. I'm very thankful for the long history that the King James Bible has and the many people that have come to faith reading the King James Bible. So this is not an attack on the King James Bible. If you prefer to read the King James, please do so. As long as you're reading the Word of God, I want to encourage you to do so. But some of the arguments that are used against the modern translations of the Bible are usually that, well, there's verses that have been taken out or there's words that have been changed. Now, to be fair and give credit where I do think there is some deserving, there are some translations of the Bible that are basically created for money. So therefore, this is one of the arguments King James Onlyist would use, therefore there are people who have to change a certain amount of words, find another word to fit there, because otherwise they can get hit with copyright strikes. And so they don't want to do that. And so to make another version, they can make a certain amount of changes. Therefore, they can then put out another translation of the Bible. So I get that. I understand that. Some of the arguments the King James Onlyists make, I would even agree with. However, the idea that the modern translations are perverted or corrupted, I don't fully agree with. And some of the arguments as well, you have the Textus Receptus, and this is a line of manuscripts that come forth through history that we then produce the King James Bible with. And then you have this manuscripts that have come out of Alexandria that they would say, or is known as the critical text, that these are corrupted manuscripts. Even though they're earlier than the manuscripts that we have with the Textus Receptus, they would say that these manuscripts are corrupted because of where they're coming out of. And so that being said, I don't agree with that argumentation. However, my question is this: while you may have some verses or some words that have been taken out because the earliest manuscripts do not have them, and you'll still find those in these new modern translations, they're usually in a footnote somewhere in the Bible to say that these were contained in some manuscripts, but in the earliest ones we don't have them, but it's still there. But my question is this: can you name any essential doctrine that has been corrupted, that has been changed from the new modern translations? I'm not talking about a word here or there, but if you're saying that so much has been removed that these new modern translations corrupt the deity of Jesus Christ, for instance, or they deny the Trinity, or that they are promoting a works-based salvation, these are questions that I'm asking you. Can you provide any evidence that the new modern translations remove any essential doctrine from their translations of the Bible? The good ones. I would agree with you. There are some bad Bible translations. I even did a video on 5 Bible translations you should avoid. So I agree there are some bad Bible translations. But my question is, can you provide any evidence that these good modern Bible translations that are out there, such as the ESV, the New King James, the NASB, the CSB, there are some good Bible translations that are out there. Can you provide any evidence that shows that these translations of the Bible have twisted and perverted any essential doctrine?